Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how you can interpret results if you're using Sync Match already. Again, only available currently to Sync Academy, Sync Edge, or Pro Feedback members. I will leave the links below if you want to join us to get early access to this at our founders rates, starting at just $9.99 a month. But today's video, I want to show you how you can be interpreting results when you upload a track, when you get songs, similar songs in your genre, or in your mood, or maybe a combo of both, that don't sound really much like your track, because I think this is one of the points of potentially confusion that a lot of you might be facing, that I want to make sure you understand. When you hear a vast difference between what your track is, and I'll play this little snippet of mine in a second, and what these tracks are, that's not a bad thing. It's not negative, and it doesn't mean something went wrong. In fact, it is an indication and an invitation for you to understand where you should be going, right? So for a lot of you, when we first get into this business, I remember, I just wanted to make cool riffs, and I was kind of doing the rap rock thing, hip hop rock thing, making cool music that I liked. That's great. That's awesome. At some point, you make the transition into, I got to make sure that the music and all the energy and the time I'm putting into my music is something I love doing, but also fits into the marketplace, is actually marketable, licensable. It makes business sense to be making the music that I'm making. That's the sort of transition that usually takes the kind of amateur having fun with music to a professional sync licensing producer, is making that switch internally, mentally, to go, I'm ready to actually make music that A, I love, for sure, that I'm into, but B, actually could have a higher chance of getting placed. Not just music that I think is cool, but really music that the industry thinks is cool and is marketable, okay? So let me just play first a little snippet of what you're hearing here for what my track is, so you can see and judge for yourself how the how accurate the tags were. So here's a little bit of this track. It was just one of my personal songs. I hired a singer to sing for me. Heart is Dissolving. Here's a little snippet of it.
How do you pass the time when half your heart is missing? I should have seen the signs, I should have been suspicious. I saw the text and your picture with him. I couldn't deal with it. Maybe in time I'll see that you didn't deserve me. You out of my brain. Please give me something to get past you. My heart is dissolving alone in this room, and I heard that you're falling for someone new.
Now, again, this was a track that I wrote just for me, so I didn't really have sync in mind, but I was curious, and I think a lot of you guys might be curious too using this app. If you have some tracks laying on your hard drive, would this work, and where would this fit, and what would I need to do to adjust my music to make it more licensable? So that's what I'm going to walk you through, okay? Obviously, some sync-friendly titles if you want to use them. You don't have to. 25 different shows use this genre of music, so that's a good indication. That's a good number that something out there is using it. Drama, romance, I think it's got that right. That's kind of where this would probably fit in. Now, top tracks with my genre. So those tags, I don't know if I didn't even go over them, but pop is our main genre and romantic is our main mood, okay? So in the pop world, these are essentially the top placed pop tracks with ranked by order of which track got placed the most, okay? So we just click on the Spotify link and we can learn and listen to what Super Thriller is and what's going on with this track. Let's take a listen. Way more upbeat than mine, right? You notice right off the bat, it had this kind of driving anticipation, lifting energy anticipation. Mine didn't have any of that. Mine was a lot slower, a little bit more melancholy.
So please give me something, yeah, I just...
Much slower, right? So right off the bat, that lets me know if I want to go in this pop direction and vocals and all the things I'm doing, well, the top place track is kind of going in that direction. Let's check out the second one. Let's see what's happening here. So again, it's driving, right? The tempo is much higher, and something I've told you guys over and over again on this channel. Mid and up tempo get placed more than slow. So right off the bat, that's immediately apparent that if I want to go in this direction, I better up my tempo, and I better get a little bit more into driving, pushing forward, maybe 4 on the floor, thinking about chord progressions, kind of like what we heard with this Super Thriller track that's kind of like raising up as it goes along, and on and on. And basically listening to all these tracks and kind of picking apart exactly what I could be doing different, okay? Coming on down, these are tracks that just share my mood, and so my mood was romantic. So as you can see, these are genres all over the place that have nothing to do with pop. Some of them electro pop, this one is. I want to check out this one too. But reggae, folk, you know, easy listening. So these are not necessarily going to sound anything like your track, because these are only sharing your mood. They're not sharing your genre at all. So you should be expecting these to sound very different. The point of this is just to give you a little bit of a more broader aperture, a little bit more of an open point of view in terms of where are other romantic cues getting placed and what do they sound like and what genres are they in. Because maybe I'm interested in working in a couple of different genres or trying a new approach, but I love this kind of romantic vibe that I'm going with, and these would give me some ideas. Let's check out one of them. I Need You Like Medicine.
Think about it every night when I close my eyes. You're on my mind. Like moment here forever, no goodbyes. And when I think about us.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. 4 on the floor, more energetic, right? And it's just kind of more danceable. So that I'm sure across the board, as I go through these tracks, that's going to be the common theme. It's going to let me know where essentially I need to go with my music. So that could be really helpful, okay? And so this is one track, at least it was able to detect, that shared both the genre and the mood. So pop and romantic coming together. So this, if you get one of these tracks, not every track upload is going to come up with these results. That's just because we might not have a particular track that shares your two tags combined, right? It doesn't mean that you don't have a potentially licensable track. It doesn't mean that you can't get placements, but it's just not showing up in the sample data that we've collected for the previous month, okay? So let's check out My Name, see what they're doing here. So much more of kind of like a swagger. It's still in that pop world, you know, but it's kind of got this big swagger energy to it. Very bluesy, because I think my track, there's definitely a little bit of blues kind of in the vocals as well. So there's something kind of in similar there. But, you know, right off the bat, what I would take away from these results is I have kind of 2 directions I can go in if I want to go in this direction. One, I go faster tempo, 4 on the floor, driving, energetic, because that's what's getting more placements and that's where I should be steering my music. 2, if I want to go in more of the blues, rock, kind of grungy, almost industrial, big pop direction, this would be an interesting track for me to kind of model after, listen to understand what's going on there, maybe even go a little bit away further from the pop and a little bit more into kind of like that blues rock sort of direction, if that's kind of fun for me, if I want to do that. So you decide kind of where you want to go with this, but I wanted to just give you an overview of when you get results like this that don't sound just like your track. That is usually an invitation. It's an opportunity for you to redirect and repurpose your music, or think about changing things in a way that's more useful for the current industry. That's basically what you guys are getting with these tracks. And of course, if you're not aware, you get your library matches. These are based on the companies that essentially had the largest number of tags that were similar to yours, and we'll also give you an overall best library match. So in this one, Extreme Music seems to be the best one that's matching for this. Extreme Music, by the way, from what I've learned already, does a lot of like pop artist vocal tracks. They really, really carved out a big niche for getting a lot of tracks placed that have vocals. They just almost sound like they're hit songs ready to be sort of placed, right? And of course, you'll get your TV show matches, all the TV shows that have used your particular genre, and all the channels that have used it as well. So you kind of know, you know, it's kind of interesting to know exactly where your music sort of fits in here. So that's my overview. That's what I want to give you guys today. We will obviously have more videos and more use cases that we're going to show you how to use this app to its full potential. And I'm also curious how you guys, for those of you that are using it within Sync Academy, how you guys are using it and what feedback you have for me. So if there's any glitches, bugs, confusion, something, head scratchers going on with this, please always reach out. Obviously, going on the Sync Academy platform or just emailing me would be great. I am constantly looking out for new suggestions and feedback from you guys so we can keep refining this thing to make it even more and more powerful and more accurate for you guys. So that's the idea and that's the goal here with Sync Match. So thank you guys so much for watching. Any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and post it below wherever you're watching this video. I'll be happy to answer.